time of prophecy has come, knights. We march on hell!
Diablo 4 consumes time like a necromancer does corpses, ravenously and without repentance. It's stunning really that Blizzard Entertainment has found a way to pull the same trick for a fourth time. That the studio has found another ingenious way to conceal a surprisingly simple, destructive, compulsive cycle. While attention may be easily drawn to the sprawling shared world of Sanctuary and the visually captivating design encasing it, behind the spectacle is something almost primal. A click to move, a click to kill, a click to loot. Repeat until daybreak. It's an action RPG that wants nothing more from you than to move a little smarter and kill a little faster. It's dangerously honest in its intent, a profound waste of time which is subsuming my life. What's truly terrifying is that after sacrificing 100 hours of my life to the altar of Diablo 4, I know that I've barely scratched the surface of what it has to offer, and there's no way in hell I'm stopping anytime soon. Diablo 4 occupies this really killer ground between the complexity of Diablo 2 and the approachability of Diablo 3. Skill points and assignable attributes are back, allowing for more miniature and class construction, with a respec cost so low that experimentation is always encouraged. Consumable health potions return, necessitating more care in combat, but defeated enemies aren't opposed to refilling your flasks either. Diablo 4 is full of those sorts of smart revisions, small quality of life changes that answer the roar of domineering feedback which has followed this franchise for over a decade. But perhaps the most impactful shift is the agency Blizzard has injected into loadout management. Items have magical properties and proficiencies established upon pickup, affording you an opportunity to make quick decisions about your build between bloody bouts with demonic forces. RNG gods be damned, sockets can be welded onto unique armor, weapons and accessories without a dice roll, giving you free reign to waste hours min-maxing your stats with gems. Equipables that you are particularly attached to can survive the loot grind for longer thanks to an enhanced upgrade system, empowering the statistics of your favourite pieces in exchange for little gold and materials. When the time does come to part ways with your legendary, you can strip it of its aspect and apply those unique passive properties to another item in your inventory. Class-specific enhancements can be earned in dungeons too, should you really want to dial in your preferred playstyle. This system grew on me as my nostalgia for the old ways waned, a necessary tool for class definition, particularly as I pressed into the more challenging world tiers and began experimenting with cooperative party compositions. It felt counterintuitive to have so much control in the early hours, because what is Diablo if not an endless pursuit of larger numbers? But this tinge of longevity to gear only emphasizes the strength of each of the 5 classes and enhances the overall quality of combat from the beginning of the 30-hour campaign through to the countless hours spent figuring out the particulars of a returning and more intricate endgame paragon leveling system. If a massive interweaving systems represents the spirit of Diablo and mountains of loot the soul, then combat is the beating heart. And let me tell you, slaughtering demons in Diablo 4 is really bloody good. It's not a radical departure by any stretch of the imagination. Click, click, click until the nightmares are exercised. But what Blizzard has presented here is a hyperkinetic concoction of the outright carnage of Diablo 3 and the more concise pacing of Diablo 2. If Diablo 3 could be accused of anything, it's that it leaned too far in the direction of thoughtless, thunderous demon slaying, a cascade of colourful violence to be enjoyed while chatting shit with friends. Where Diablo 4 succeeds is that while it certainly gives each of the classes the tools to dominate waves of enemies with little consternation, you'll need to be a bit more considerate of a variety of external factors: skill selection, resource management, specialization, and positioning. Hero classes are outstanding, defined, and potent. The Necromancer, able to raise an army of dead while activating daisy chains of exploding corpses. There's the Barbaric Barbarian, with their swappable weapons and ability to aggro even the largest of lesser evils. You've got your Glass Cannon Mage, who circumvents this issue of survivability by summoning the elements from the heavens. The Rogue is a master of critical damage, darting through shadow with deadly precision, while the Druid can shift their shape to effectively tackle any crowd with ease. No matter your preferred way of slaying, Diablo 4 is only too happy to facilitate. That's supported by an outrageously in-depth skill tree system. Diablo 4 assigns skill points as you level up, or as you meet certain renowned thresholds from exploring Sanctuary, clearing dungeons, hunting altars of Lilith statues, and completing the hundreds of side quests which litter the open world. There's little restriction in the ways you can creatively invest in your character or the combination of abilities you can equip, while branching modifiers can further refine your chosen path. The depth on display through the standard leveling outlay is staggering, with class composition having a real tangible impact on the way your character moves, kills, and survives. When the Paragon board opens up between level 50 and 100, the scope for creative assembly in tandem with loot collection and gear optimization is dizzying. Diablo 4 always provides a wide set of opportunities to succeed, Stuck on a particularly challenging boss, stronghold capture or timed world event? Work out what your build is missing: direct DPS, crowd control, armor, elemental resistances and so on, and you can quickly respec components of the skill tree accordingly. Perhaps you portal back to town and upgrade your equipment or re-roll a legendary's attributes to increase specific resistances. Hell, if you're getting really schooled, temporarily drop down a world tier for an easier ride, which is at the cost of less loot and experience, or bring friends into your party to instill some additional dynamics to a battle. Oftentimes your ability to succeed in any given encounter will come down to how well you're controlling your character or managing cooldowns and the unique class-specific resource pools which replace Diablo's 3 universal mana. The precision Blizzard has injected into handling is felt most keenly in battles with boss, champion, elite, and super unique ranked enemies, instances which demand precise movement and quick reactions. Every class now has a dodge roll as standard, and agility can be greatly enhanced by investing in movement abilities such as dash, leap, or teleport, allowing you to more deftly weave through domineering attacks with strict invincibility frames. While I certainly miss the infinite dodge roll introduced to Diablo 3 to help facilitate its arrival on console platforms, I understand its exclusion. Whether you're running solo with friends, Diablo 4 asks more of your attention than its predecessor, and is quicker to punish haphazard reaction, although the focus is always on having the freedom and flexibility to send hundreds of thousands of demons back to hell and have a damn good time while doing it. From the swampy morass of misery to the south, and blood-soaked glaciers in the northlands, the acrid dunes of despair, or countless crumbling cities drowned in blood, it's a true delight to freely navigate this massive space. What's impressive is just how successfully Blizzard has taken learnings from World of Warcraft's evolution over the past 20 years and applied them to Diablo 4's structure in a way that makes perfect sense for this action RPG. World bosses and limited time events wash over the world and cause players to converge for short alliances, while the seamless integration of PvP to specific map zones adds an air of danger to exploration. It's always a thrill encountering other heroes, giving you a fleeting opportunity to see how players are making use of their skill trees, enhancements, and equipment outside of the defined co-op groupings. As fantastic as delving into the depth and dungeons is, each imbued with an air of randomization to fresh and repeat visits, and as fun as pursuing the story can be, there's just so much joy in mindlessly seeking distraction. Side quests are largely plentiful, varied, and well written. Collectibles and crafting materials are evenly distributed, and what's shocking is I'm still encountering new enemy variants with so many hours on the clock. Diablo 4 is the sort of game where you can gladly waste away your time and not feel a tinge of guilt about it afterwards. It's impossible to know whether Diablo 4 will survive as a live service in an undoubtedly challenging environment, where more games than ever before are vying for increments of your time, but I know that I've barely scratched the surface, with hundreds if not thousands of hours in front of me to perfect 5 class builds and triumph over the multiple world tiers of challenge. There's a compelling argument to be made for Diablo 4 as being one of the finest online games available on modern platform. There's an elegance to its composition and freedom to its structure which is difficult to dispute. Even now, I couldn't tell you why Diablo 4 works. Not really. I mean, I could point to the bleak gothic artistic direction and stunning regional diversity of its open world, the hauntingly atmospheric soundtrack, or the hyper-refined UX design, the slick 60 frames per second performance, and seamless blurring of lines between single and multiplayer components. But it's something deeper than that. It's the compulsion that drives the heart of the experience, that gameplay loop which necessitates simple, repetitive, attention-dominating action, the sort of which offers instant fun from sign-in, persistent challenge in a seamless world, approachable complexity with dizzying choice, a video game which wields an uncanny ability to draw out an intoxicating, impulsive drive for experimentation. Diablo 4 is a triumph that will decimate your free time. We give it 5 stars out of 5.
If we can't stop Lilith, we'll all be damned.